Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, Peter GUTWEIN has promised a massive shake-up of TASTAFE following a landmark report into Tasmania's COVID recovery. Delivering his wide-spanning State of the State address, the Premier has pledged to overhaul everything from land tax to medicinal cannabis.
Grateful to see the storm nearly over.
Today I want to acknowledge and importantly thank all Tasmanians for working together to ensure that we kept our state safe.
The Premier handing down the Economic and Social Recovery final report, known as PASRAC.
This report will not just be another report that will sit in someone's desk drawer.
The long-awaited report delivering 52 recommendations. Its centrepiece, a massive shake-up of TASTAFE, giving its workforce more flexibility to meet training demands.
PASRAC's recommendation is that the most effective way of achieving the flexibility and the agility required is to make TASTAFE an independent government business.
The government has responded to the report by opening the chequebook. There's $20 million over 2 years to help more Tasmanians into work.
Our plan is to deliver more apprentices and trainees and more Tasmanian tradies rather than relying on fly-in, fly-out interstaters.
$77 million will go towards the Macquarie Point redevelopment. Land tax will be overhauled, so 4,000 fewer landowners need to pay it. And there's good news for those who need medicinal cannabis.
I can confirm we will enable GPs in Tasmania to prescribe medical cannabis.
A letter from a school student has also sparked change.
I'm pleased to say we will make sanitary items freely available in all government schools from term 3 of this year.
As the Premier had this message for women attending yesterday's rallies.
I see you, I hear you. This government, this parliament sees you and it hears you.
While pledging to continue talks with the Aboriginal community over land returns.
This government is committed to taking significant steps on our path to reconciliation.
The Premier already committed to accepting all of the report's recommendations.
What I've got in front of me compared to where I was back in March last year doesn't feel daunting at all.
But a sticking point in Parliament could be local government reform.
The outlook for the local government sector is troubling, but the case for reform is well understood.
PASRAC boss Don CHALLEN is so far satisfied with the response.
I'm very, very encouraged by the government's response and look forward to them implementing all 52 of our recommendations.
The test will be if the government can pull off the plan in an already busy year.
And MCCOMISH joins us now to discuss the day's other major political developments in what has been a fiery day in Parliament. Sean, it sounds like the government's Spirit of Tasmania decision has caused quite a ruckus in the chamber.
That's right, Kim. Labor went on the attack after the government's decision yesterday to build the Spirit replacements in Finland. Last year it paused the deal with the shipbuilder RMC to see if it could build the vessels locally. A task force report was handed down quite late yesterday, which didn't really give anyone much time to respond. So today, as you can imagine, more than a few tempers flared up.
Are you going to apologise for your flip-flopping that has caused havoc to their businesses?
And I just want to come back to the absolute hypocrisy. The absolute hypocrisy.
But nothing is certain yet. The government still needs 30 days to negotiate. The Premier says up to $100 million in Tasmanian content could be included in the deal. He'll also talk to Incat boss Bob Clifford, who has expressed his bitter disappointment in the decision. It was also revealed the task force report cost $146,000. Not a small sum of money. Kim?
No, not at all. Well, 2 additional commissioners have been appointed to help in Tasmania's upcoming inquiry into child sexual abuse. The state-based Royal Commission has now been formally established following a number of allegations from within the public sector. Joining the inquiry's President Marsha Neve will be leading child protection researcher Leah Bromfield and former Family Court Justice Robert Benjamin.
It shows how serious we are as a government to addressing these disturbing matters. I am proud our government is shining a light on an area that has been dark for too long.
The inquiry is set to begin next month. Major staffing shortages in critical areas of the Royal Hobart Hospital are pushing workers to breaking point, according to the Nurses Union. Workers are claiming there are 900 rostered shortfalls for April. The state head of the ANMF says a lack of staff on Sunday resulted in 20 double shifts being worked at the hospital.
That means that 20 staff that are already employed are working up to 19 hours straight. Clearly that has a significant impact on their health and well-being.
The Health Department says it continues to actively recruit more staff to meet increasing patient demand. Local residents have happily settled in at Australia's first dementia village in Hobart's northern suburbs. Family members are already seeing positive changes in their loved ones, with the trial program potentially becoming a template for best practice aged care.
Enjoying a coffee with family in a new community. Marianne, who has dementia, now lives in this dedicated care village. Her husband of nearly 50 years saying her new home has changed her life.
It's the happiest probably I've seen her in the last 3 years. So, yeah, I'm happy, she's happy. That's all that matters, really.
Korongi Dementia Village opening in July, offering a salon, cafe, grocery store and gym, plus housing in cul-de-sacs. 6 months after its launch, the specialised easy accessible layout already well received by current residents and visiting family members.
You're not all crowded into one room or one complex like some of the nursing homes, so yeah, it's a lot different, a lot better. Here it's more relaxed, it's like living at home.
Residents can move completely freely within the whole village, which is a great sense of freedom.
Now the only facility in the Southern Hemisphere dedicated to caring solely for dementia patients.
It's a slow disease and it can be incremental changes, and that's probably the hardest thing for the community to understand, is that, you know, every day things might be just a little bit different, and that's our job, is to notice those small nuances and to really be present with residents.
Slowly building the community spirit, quite the challenge for those behind the scenes.
That sort of slow but steady moving in process for residents so that they can adjust and families can adjust. But the early days it was a quiet village, now it's a thriving village.
33 residents are currently living here at Korongi, utilising facilities such as the wellness centre and the cafe every day. There are, however, 96 rooms in total at the village, hoped to be all fully taken up by Christmas.
What we're hoping is that the village will show that residential care can be different. It can be a positive experience and it doesn't have to be a scary place to come to visit.
Ruby COMMANE, 7 Tasmania News.
Two major figures in Tasmania's emergency services are bowing out after decades of hard work. Tasmania Fire Service boss Chris Arnold will retire in July. He joined the organisation in 1985 and has held the top job for 6 years. Tasmania Police Deputy Commissioner Scott Tilliard is also hanging up his hat after 4 decades in the police force. A fundraising campaign has been launched to help the family of a sick Devonport girl. Ella Rogers was born with a congenital heart defect and is now waiting for her second open heart surgery.
9-year-old Ella Rogers is only weeks or months away from a major operation.
I'm scared. I am officially scared and I don't want it to happen.
But that hasn't stopped the youngster from laughing and loving life.
I did it again!
Anytime now, Ella and her mum Jessica Bugg will be packing their bags and heading to Melbourne for Ella's second open heart surgery.
I think it'll be just exciting to get it over with, as it will be terrifying to get there. But Ella's brave and we've got some of the best surgeons here to take care of her, so hopefully everything goes well.
Ella had her first open heart surgery at just 2 years old after defects were detected in her valves.
It was absolutely terrifying, honestly, having to hand her over for a 9-hour surgery and just wait for the phone call to say that she was in recovery.
The family of 5 moved back to Tasmania from Victoria last year after Jessica and her partner lost their jobs due to the pandemic.
And we've been pretty much homeless since. We're in emergency accommodation at the moment, but spent 3 months with family and another 3 months in a 40-foot bus. So the housing crisis is real. It's been a big struggle.
Ella's family has been blown away by the support from the local community, with more than $4,000 raised in just over a week.
It's been a huge relief because about 50% of the associated costs with Ella's surgery are out of pocket.
If you'd like to help, head to Ella's Journey Open Heart Surgery GoFundMe page.
Thank you for donating. Yeah.
LETITIA Wallace, 7 Tasmania News.
Unattended cooking has been deemed the cause of a significant blaze which tore through a Latana home last night. Fire crews remained at the scene on the Brooker Highway this morning after neighbours reported seeing flames coming from the roof around 8 p.m. It took around 2 hours to extinguish the blaze. The occupant, a man in his 70s, was taken to hospital as a precaution after inhaling smoke. The fire service has urged people to never leave cooking unattended and to ensure ovens are cleaned regularly to prevent grease build-up. Long-time diabetes sufferers have been celebrated at a special presentation in Devonport this morning. Rosemary Ryan was one of 2 people awarded a Kellyan Medal, recognising the 60 years she's lived with disease.
It's very much an individual disease or condition, and the challenges I've met them head on, and I've overcome them.
When you look at what's happened over time, if someone was diagnosed 60 years ago, things have come a long way in regard to technology and managing diabetes.
The event also marked the opening of the new Diabetes Tasmania Devonport office. It sustained arson attacks, graffiti and remained empty for nearly 10 years. Now the old Claremont Primary School is being transformed into a $200 million residential and commercial hub. Glenorchy City Council last night unanimously approving a private development proposal to build 261 apartments and 54 townhouses, plus community and shopping spaces.
We have people in our community who are looking to downsize. We have young people wanting to move into the community, professionals, and this will provide the housing stock that's much needed.
The old school building is heritage listed and will be restored as part of the new precinct.
The Tasmanian Tigers will be without one of their strike weapons for the back end of the season, with fast bowler Riley Meredith flying to India for the IPL. The 24-year-old was snapped up by the Punjab Kings for a whopping $1.4 million. The speedster will have an extra Tasmanian backer, with former Hurricanes head Damien Wright joining the side as a bowling coach.
You know, I'm really looking forward to linking up with him again and hopefully adding a few more strings to my bow.
I actually believe, in this IPL, he's going to make a real statement and be one of the better bowlers in the competition.
The tournament begins next month. A show-stopping and at times frantic goalkeeping effort was not enough to save Diamondbacks from defeat in the first round of Premier League hockey. The women's title holder OHA squandered a number of early chances but bounced back in the second half. A fresh season beginning with an old rivalry, but there was nothing new about an early dominance from the reigning women's champions.
Takes it early, puts it to the spot. Cammy Vaughan makes one clearance, sits on the ball.
OHA piling on the pressure. It took something special to deny them in front of goal.
Great, oh, what a save. We were just singing her praises a second ago, and I think, there you go, 4 saves in a row.
Diamondbacks keeper Camilla Vaughan stopping a remarkable 13 shots in the first half alone.
It was incredible. I can't believe it was 13 till now.
But after the break and a goal from either side, the floodgates opened for OHA, proving why they're a force to be reckoned with. Meanwhile, Derwent and Northwest grads made ruthless returns in their matches, both finding the net 7 times. In the men's league, the reigning premiers, Northwest grads, showed desperation in their victory over University, and in a match filled with incredible goals, it's this stunning finish from Sam McCambridge that even has his teammates in awe.
It was absolutely freakish, definitely. You usually get one of those every season or so from him. He's just a living, walking highlight reel.
Good evening. 24, the state's warmest today, recorded at Launceston on a thermometer. Hobart 18, Burnie 19 and Devonport 21 degrees. Flinders Island reached 22, Strawn 21, Smithton, Friendly Beaches, Ouse and Grove 20, Low Head, St Helens and King Island 19. Widespread cloud cleared from the southern half of the state during the afternoon. Scattered cloud remained elsewhere across Tasmania. Cloud pushes back from a low over the northern Tasman Sea to northwest WA. Cloud also sits over the Southern Ocean under a high pressure system, and onshore winds produce the low cloud over the New South Wales and Victorian coastlines. Tomorrow the high creeps a little further east, but still influencing the eastern states. Troughs dominate the rest of the scene. Winds mostly east-northeasterly, 15 to 20 knots, and at 25 knots over the northwest, swells to 3 metres. Hobart 23 tomorrow, a mostly sunny. Geefston okay, 24 the top, 23 for Bothwell, a sunny day. 23 for Launceston, bit of cloud about but fine. Devonport 20, 23 the high for Cressy. Burnie expecting 19 degrees and partly cloudy. Strawn 21, Curry on King Island 21 degrees as well. 19 the high for St Helens and cloudy, 20% chance of rain. Swansea partly cloudy and 21 Orford the same. Now, here's the UV. It's up to 7 tomorrow. No wonder I've been sleeping in. Sunrise not until 10 past 7. On Thursday, fine after early fog patches, the chance of a shower over the northwest and northeast. Similar weather predicted for Friday, along with east to northeasterly winds. Partly cloudy on Saturday, temperatures still sitting above 20. No problems with temperatures for Perth, 33 there tomorrow. Sunny in Adelaide and Melbourne. Conditions worsen as we head north. Cloudy in Canberra, showers in Sydney, rain over Brisbane and storms for the far north. And current conditions, Kim, all fine and mostly sunny.